Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, and you found me today in the laser maker's realm. So if you're wondering what is the laser maker's realm and what makes it different than the other individual channels, well, the first thing is we're going to post a video about every 4 days starting in January. The second thing is we've got 3 different makers on the channel. And the third thing is we're not really getting into the design so much as sharing files with you and showing you how we made them. So the video is going to be much shorter and to the point, and you get to download the files for free. So let's get started. This is the first one, very first video. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, here we've got the letter to Santa. And I just wanted to share with you what you're going to get when you download this zip package. And when you unzip the file that you download below the video, you're going to see these files inside here. First thing I want you to take a look at is the story of the letter to Santa. And you'll see that I've written a story about this. So every year, just before Christmas, Santa's elves travel the entire globe collecting letters to Santa from the post offices. Some unfortunate children don't get presents from Santa. Why? Because the elves never find their letters, since many of them get lost in the mail. So in an effort to correct this problem for all children, I've created this laser engraved and cut file for you to make, hang on your fireplace or Christmas tree, and place the letter to Santa where the elves can find it, in the official North Pole post office holder. So this is the official story. If you're going to sell this product, or if you're going to give it to a friend or family member, print this out, fold it up, and put it inside the envelope. So that's number one. Then we've got the README file here. So in this README file, it says, be sure to read the story to the letter to Santa. Basically, it's just telling you what's in here. Make sure you extract it. Some recommended materials. I've got basswood, premium BB grade, Baltic birch, and white oak. Most people are going to choose the basswood because of the price as compared to $60 for 10 packs of the other. So that's what that is. Now, here I've got the font installed first. This is the first thing that you want to do, is go into this folder, double click this file, and click the button here that says install. Now I've already got it installed, so I'm not going to. So let me get rid of that and go back. Then I've got, for all of you people that don't use Lightburn, you're going to love this. I've got all of the graphics in here. So I've got them in AI format, a DXF format, and SVG format, all of the layers. For you Lightburn users, here are the Lightburn files in this folder. If you're using a CO2 with an origin of the top right, you would come into this folder and choose that Lightburn file. If you're using a diode with the origin of the bottom left, you'd come into this folder and choose that file. If you want the art library for any laser, you come into this folder, and here is the Letter to Santa art library. Now, with that out of the way, we can come back over here, and you can see that I have got a file open for the LaserMaster 2. That is not the laser that I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to open the file for the monport 40 watt laser, which is the laser that I'll be using today, the 40 watt CO2. Now, you'll see here that these look larger than the bed size, and they are. These are the 4 layers. This is the base right here. This is the spacer layer. This is the top layer, and then the seal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this here. I'm going to hit that comma key like that, and I'm going to come up here to the top, make sure that this is locked, and I'm going to set my height to 200. Then I'm going to come over here to the top right, move it to the center of the page just like that, and now I know that this will cut perfectly on my 200 by 300 monport laser. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the other ones here. I'll put the seal inside of this one over here and cut those two out together, or perhaps I'll put it over here. You know, either way, makes no difference. And then we're going to run this job. So let me show you, in the Laser Maker's realm, we're not going to waste time. We're going to show you the project, show you how to get the project, run the project off so you can see the results. So let's get to the actual videos of the laser engraving and cutout. All right, here we go. Starting with the hyperlapse videos. We are starting here with the base, and I've speeded this up so that it doesn't take too long. And I wanted you to know the settings that I used here. So let me get that out. I have got, this is the monport 40 watt Lightburn CO2. I am running this at 200 millimeters per second and 37 power. Is that right? 34 power, excuse me, on the engrave. Now on the cutout, when it comes around to cut this out, it's going to be running at 10 millimeters per second and 100% power. Now that does not mean 100% of the laser power. It's 100% power in Lightburn, and I've got the amp meter set to 17 milliamps. Now the manufacturer says that you can go as high as 20 milliamps, but I'm not going to do that. I don't go past 17. I want my tube to last for a very long time, and I would suggest that you don't either. I mean, this 17 milliamps on the cut, I'm going to be able to cut 6 millimeter plywood in one pass. So on the occasion when I get 8 millimeter, you know, I'll jump it up to 2 passes. And this, of course, is not with any air assist. This is a stock machine. I haven't done any modifications to this whatsoever. So with no air assist on this right now, this is just stock from the factory. I'm running this at 200 millimeters per second. Now there you can see the cut. And on two of them, I had to pop it out in a couple of little places, but on one, everything just dropped out. So now, again, this is 3.5 millimeter wood. It's plywood, 3 layers. And what I do here is, here's a tip for you: plain water in a spray bottle to get rid of that overburn. Everybody tries to sand it. Can't tell you how many people that I've gotten messages from where, oh, I've ruined my project because I've sanded it and the edges turn pink. Well, you shouldn't be sanding it. You're just going to clean it with some purified water, and that's it. That's just bottled water is what I've got in there. And all I do is clean off all of the soot. I don't get into the letters. I let the water stay in the letters because that will cause it to stain. The soot will actually stain those letters. But I do wipe off the outside, and before I assemble everything, I also wipe off the outside with some vinegar, some household cleaning vinegar. Look how beautiful that is. I mean, that is just gorgeous, just like that. And I might wipe it now with a dry cloth. Now, the reason why I wipe the edges, once I've got it all assembled and ready to go, I'll clean the edges with cleaning vinegar, and the purpose of that is to take away the odor. Another thing that I hear a lot from my viewers is, I can't stand the odor on these projects. When I go to give it to somebody, they just stink. Well, that's because the burn needs to be, what would you call it? Neutralized, and the cleaning vinegar does that. So one quick wipe with the cleaning vinegar, and then of course you're going to finish the product as well. And by that time, there will be absolutely no smell when it comes to handing this over to your customer or giving it as a gift or whatever. So now we've moved on here. This is the second layer. that I'm cutting out. And what I did was earlier, I said it didn't matter where you put the emblem. Well, it does. If you're going to resize it, and I think, you know what, I think this 200 millimeter wide is absolutely perfect, because the prototype that I did was too big. You know, somebody might hang this on their Christmas tree. That having it that, you know, that 8 inches or whatever it is wide is just the right size and worked out absolutely perfectly for me. I think that's probably the way I should have designed it in the first place, but that's completely up to you. But you want to make sure that when you resize this, if you make it smaller or if you make it larger, I can't imagine anyone making it any larger, but if you make it smaller, this seal of the North Pole has to be inside that U-shaped spacer. And the reason for that is because you're going to select all. So you do hold your control key or your command key and press the letter A to get all of them. Then hit the comma key to turn them sideways, or the period key, either one. And that's all you need to do to make sure that the size is the same. Now you can see in this one, this is the same setting that I had on the other one, and it's cutting straight through with no problem at all. So it depends on, you know, each particular board. And there you go, that one's finished. And again, the only thing that I'm going to do to this now is I'm going to get my water, I'm going to spray it down. You have to do it quickly though, don't let the soot stain the wood. So I'm going to spray it down with the water, and then I'm going to wipe it off with the paper towel. And I use either paper towels or shop towels. I prefer paper towels because they act like a mild sandpaper. So you know, you get more of the soot off with a paper towel than you do with a shop towel. So I do prefer the paper towels. So once you've finished taking all of the soot off, if there's still any discoloration whatsoever on the project, all you have to do is take a dry paper towel and go over it with the dry paper towel, and that will act like a very mild sandpaper. It won't hurt your edges, it won't hurt the design whatsoever, but it will take off any of that little shadowing that you've got left behind. Now, a couple of other tips that I wanted to share with you here is, excuse me, I've got this set to fill shapes individually. So it's not going to move back and forth. There's no white space scan going on here whatsoever. It's going to fill every shape and every letter individually. And then I've also got this set to line after fill. So I've added a tab on the cut layer, and I've set that to line, and I lowered that to 150 speed, 150 speed and 24% power to do the line after fill. And by doing that, you get a little more distinction in the file. And this is about it. It's almost ready for assembly. You take the base, you put the spacer on top, glue the spacer on, then you glue on this part right here that's being engraved right now, and then finally you glue on the seal for the post office, the North Pole post office. And then all I did was finish it with some clear acrylic, and that was it, folks. And let me tell you what, this is a gorgeous project. You give this to anybody and they're gonna absolutely love it. And there you have it, quick and easy. This is a Maker's Realm video. We're going to take you from start to finish in just a couple minutes, give you the files so that you can get out there and make something, and just that easy. Now, I know that some of you have already seen this video, the long version of this video with myself, Patrick, and Steve making it on my channel, but I made this video for those of you who found this channel without going through my channel. So, and which I'm sure quite a few of you are going to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. All of the files are available in the Show More section. There's one zip file to get you started, and I hope you really enjoy making this for somebody. Now get out there and make something.